California every week is where we had to start, then
Oh, yeah.
we have to do these things. We have to do them. I wish I could do that every week.
It almost sounds kind of funny when he says it like that. Like, oh, yeah, you know, I just made such a sacrifice flying back and forth.
It's like, yeah, I had to fly to California every week. So, I mean, you think about that time as well, like from a competitive landscape kind of standpoint as well. Things have evolved naturally. Like, do you kind of see there being a big evolution, Taco? Like, do you think there's been a way in which things have grown in different areas, and how you see kind of like, you know, players' attitudes towards it? How do you think it's kind of evolved since kind of day dot, really?
Man, it just really feels like the skill ceiling, just when you think that they're about to touch the top, somebody just finds a new way to kind of break through and just create a whole nother layer to the competitive level of play. And I think that a lot of that is just credited to the fact that you kind of have to be fast on the fly. You see so much quick adaptation coming from the pros of today, and especially even with some of the newcomers that, again, trying to break into the scene. It's really interesting because you don't really get that opportunity super often in competitive games. And so with Fortnite, I think that it's just sick that you'll see these like kids that just, you know, they find a new way to work their way up. And I don't want to call it exploits either. It's just when you're playing at the highest level, the sole purpose usually is just find what is the most effective methods to consistently place, you know, and find those victory royales over and over and over again, so you can put yourself in a position to, I guess, essentially threaten the top of the leaderboards for all these events and tournaments that take place. And so, yeah, I would expect that things are just going to keep charging up because these guys are creative, man. And I think also that with UEFN and the fact that there is the ability to get some new practice methods going as well, that also just adds a whole nother component for these guys to kind of compete through.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. I think that's the UEFN's been a real big. I've loved seeing the kind of creative competitions come out as well. I think there's lots of different ways now, and you're right. You can really kind of hone in and kind of grow in certain areas that you need to develop now, because you can kind of create roadmaps and do exactly that. So it's just been amazing kind of seeing exactly how, like, you know, players have kind of adapted and new ones coming along. That's the great thing, that the veterans stick around. They are still delivering the goods and doing incredible things, but it's always this kind of rising star for tomorrow. You're always looking over your shoulder thinking, okay, this player's going to go far. They got something about them. I mean, speaking of players as well, over the course of each of these chapters, we've seen so many big names, many big stars of the kind of like that, of the time period, if you will, and many have kind of gone to chapter, have remained a star the entire time. But let's have some fun here for a second. I know that everyone listening or watching this is going to love this too. Let's think about kind of an ultimate dream team. Let's say we're putting together a dream squad. Okay, four players that you think were the best in each chapter, and you can kind of name one each. Perhaps what we want to do, let's kind of create like an all-star lineup of like players of each of the chapters. Okay, so let's say chapter 1 first and foremost. Are there which players would stick out for you? I'll ask you first, Monster. Like, which players going to come to mind? Chapter 1, who would be in your dream team, baby?
Listen, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to think, right? Look at all the prizing that was available in chapter 1. If I had to pick someone to stand right alongside me and literally carry me to victory, it would probably be Primetime Mongo. I'm talking about when he was so far in ahead of mechanics. This is when EU in particular was the best, literal dominant region, really solidifying their reputation as the best fighters in the world. And that's when like Primetime Mongo came out. He was explosive. I'd probably pick him up as my duo mate. And if not him, hey Vivid, dude, I need those smarts, man. Maybe I can get Vivid to put me from point A to point B, because Vivid figured out high ground at a time and place where other players were just not on his wavelength. The way he was able to, really dissect the landscape and put himself in position to succeed. That's why he had so many victories, and that's why there was a point in time where he too was the literal best player in the world. So I would have to go with one of those guys, and then I'd be filthy rich, by the end of that chapter. So it'd be crazy.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's definitely a decent amount of earnings attached to both Mongrel and Vivid, although I do think Mongrel might have a slight edge in that conversation. But hey, if we're going to base it on tournament-produced results, I'm going to meet you right there, Monster. And I'd have to give a massive shout-out to Primetime Mitro. I think that he is someone who, right alongside Mongrel there, just kind of found new ways to kind of break through what the competitive standard was at that point in time. And honestly, if he had kept playing, I think we would definitely still see him being able to line the top of the leaderboards today. And if not him, I think another throwback name I probably have to toss out there is Zexro. I think that he's someone that has definitely showcased just how great he is as a competitor in terms of that flexibility aspect that I kind of touched on earlier. And again, I think that there's a lot of OGs that you could probably sit and talk about, but Zexro's name's got to be at the top of the conversation there for me.
I was gonna say, fun fact about Zexro. There's this early video online, kind of breaking down his playstyle and how far ahead he was during his time. He was one of the first players to really adopt aggressive playstyle on NA, and he would notoriously put a wall down and swing his pickaxe around the wall while he was box fighting players, giving himself natural protection, but more importantly, kind of really figuring out right-hand peek and the advantages of how to play around it to be better than players. But dude, watching, again, we've watched this evolution chapter to chapter. Every chapter, things just stepped up.
Oh, they did. I mean, so many other players, the likes of Tfue, Bizzle, Booga. I mean, you think about Vivid as well. I remember watching an extensive, I think about 10-minute video that Vivid did about just how to utilize mounds and hills. And I was kind of completely captivated, going, this guy knows his stuff. Hills, who knew? Yeah, I was completely in. But I mean, think about that kind of chapter 1 then. So you got those kind of, again, let us know in the comments, players that you would have as your kind of duo partner. Let's look at chapter 2 when Start comes into the mix, the agency, POI-wise, the FNCS is born. Taco, players, chapter 2, who you bringing in?
I mean, I got to introduce Tayson to the conversation at that point. I think that Tayson is someone who definitely found a lot of early success in chapter 2. And then next to him would probably have to be Miro. And I know it sounds kind of funny to say because you think about nowadays, I mean, we're still seeing both of these guys competing and still finding FNCS wins as well.
It's funny. I actually was the first person to ever give Miro a spotlight. I discovered him during his solo playtime when, Fortnite kind of introduced the solo FNCS for the first time, right? Like this kind of testing the waters of what solo competitive looks like. And I made a video on him, and I actually did an interview, and I encouraged him, dude, you have something special. I think he was only 7th as well. But I was like, you're playing at a caliber that you really have what it takes. Come to find out, by the end of the year, he just exploded from that point onwards. And that was when I was doing a lot of video content, right? Really focusing in on the competitive space. So that's definitely a fun one there to see him come out of that time. But if I'm going back to that second chapter, NA West was so underrated because you had Arkram. There was so much to learn from his positioning. He almost invented what we call now the dead side rotate. This is back when the boats were first introduced to the game, and him and Epic Will would take the boats and rotate all the way around the outsides. You would think dude, they're in the zone. Why are they doing this? How does this work? But they managed to find themselves always consistently in the right positions to just outsmart everyone and not really have the friction, right, that comes with rotating through the middle of the land.
It's unreal. And I mean, obviously we need to move on very shortly, but chapter 3 and 4 as well. Basically, every current pro that's currently playing was across chapters 3 and 4. So I'm going to ask you very, very quickly for one player each who you'd bring into the mix, who you'd have by your side going into this. Okay, who wants to go first? Taco, jump in. Go for it.
Chapter 3, I'm going to hit Veno for that one. And
Good
then
shout.
for chapter 4, I'm going to go with Cooper.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go with Cooper. I know it's newer face in the scene, but I think that we have only just started to see some of his potential. I think that just based on how much he's been grinding since the conclusion of Global Championship as well, the fact that he's still finding a lot of first wave victories as far as the duo cash cups and even solo cash cups is concerned.
Yo tout le monde, comment vous allez? Est-ce que vous allez bien? Est-ce que vous êtes en forme? Bienvenue à tout le monde qui sont là, bienvenue à vous. Merci aussi à tous les gens qui s'abonnent, qui partagent, qui like. Merci énormément. Comment vous allez mes loulous? Est-ce que vous allez bien? Est-ce que vous êtes en forme? En forme ou pas en forme les gens? Et en tout cas, bienvenue à tous les nouveaux qui viennent d'arriver. Bienvenue à vous.
Yeah, the Polish Panthers. I've coined that myself, the Polish Panthers. But yeah, Cammy, it's a great year from these guys as well. Let us know again who you think you would bring into each of the chapters in the comments. Who you bring in as your kind of your.
Et n'hésitez pas à vous abonner les gens. Merci à tous les gens qui s'abonnent, qui like, qui partagent. Merci à tous. Hein.
Yeah, Fortnite OG. If you haven't done so, it's out there. Everyone's loving it. It's absolutely amazing. Right, we're moving things on now, and very swiftly we're going to move straight into one of the most fun things we do on the show each week, which is of course the quiz. The quiz. I can see how much you're into. Looking forward to this. Taco, you've had a chance to do this before. MDF, your first time quizzing with us. You seem, I guess, ready. Also, a bit sweating a little bit because Taco is a serious opponent.
Yeah, I had to say it. Taco puts in some of the most effort and work week to week during the FNCS week. I literally watch it firsthand. The notebook out, the studying happening. She probably knows a lot more than she ever leads on to be. So we'll see how we fare out.
See, he's gassing me up right now, Adam. But you have to keep in mind, think about the history report this guy just gave us as we were listing players, and he's doing like the assessment breakdown of each and every single one of them. Like, oh yeah, this 10-minute YouTube video, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, just keep that in mind because this is OG edition Fortnite quizzing.
Yeah, don't let him lure you in with a reverse psychology, like, oh, Taco's gonna do everything, because you can see he's thinking. He knows exactly what he knows. What's up. He knows
security, man. He's trying to set me up. I can't blame it on beginners like anymore either.
Yeah, I bet we had actually a camera in MDF's room. He's got like a desk just full of like files, folders. Everything's alphabetical. I can see it. Right, for you guys who have not seen the show before or listened to us before, with the quiz, very simple, 3 questions per guest on the show here. They're multiple choice. They choose an answer. If there's a tie at the end,
Comment tu vas, Alex?
Tranquille ou quoi? Where the person with the closest answer to the actual answer is the winner, which we usually do anyway because it's just.
Là, c'est un podcast que les gens ils sont en train de faire un peu un podcast. En fait, ils sont en train de parler quoi.
Okay, here we go. Play along with us at home as well. Please do. Right. So,
je sais même pas si c'est malade, sinon ça va être. Bah moi, nickel, tranquillou, hein. Nickel. Hein. On est là.
What was the live event at the end of chapter 1 called? Okay, what was the live event at the end of chapter 1?
Mais t'es malade, t'as quoi, Alex? Si tu c'est sans indiscret. Après, si tu me le dis. Hein. T'as pas à me le dire, tu me le dis pas. Hein.
I mean, it was the black hole event. Season X, right? Now I feel confused, but I'm gonna go lock in black hole.
Okay, is that final answer? Lock it in.
Moi, je pense là, ils sont en train d'annoncer à propos du chapitre 5. Fais, veux et vomissement. Ah merde. Faut aller voir un médecin, Alex. Faut pas que tu restes comme ça.
I think that was chapter 2 though, when we got into like the collaborative events that were happening there. So I'm gonna go black hole for number 1.
Okay. Well, I can confirm if you've been answering the question, Taco, you would have been incorrect. It wasn't that.
Oh,
a monster. If you are answering the question here, and I can confirm that you are also incorrect. The answer is the end. It's the end. It was just called the end.
I may or not, try to alley-oop.
T'inquiète, déjà fait. Non. Eh ben nickel alors.
Taco, here we go. Classic monster with the excuses. Classic. Right, question 1 for Taco. Let's see if you can get a 1-0 lead here. Okay, Taco, what was technically the end? Well,
that's the trick.
Not quite. That's the trick of the question. Okay, question 1, Taco. What for you? What was the live event at the end of chapter 2 called? Was it called the end, the finale, or the black hole?
Wow. I'm gonna run it back. Salty run back, I guess, on the finale.
Okay, locking it in. Finale.
I'll lock that in.
Okay, MDF, what would you have said?
This is where I go black hole again, for sure.
Okay.
It had to have happened so early. It feels like the most dominant memory of like that was that time.
Okay. Well, what's really funny
is that
pour
les 580. Merci beaucoup, mon ref.
Who decided to call both of these the end? That's just insane.
This is awesome. Yeah, it was called The End, both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. That was
They just didn't want to come up with a name. That's all.
They were just like...
That's really all I'm getting.
I mean, The End, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's the end. That's it. That's the thing. So, okay, so 0-0 after question 1 for both of our illustrious guests here. Okay, Monster, question 2 coming your way. How long does a rift to go last after it's used? How long does a rift to go last after it's used? Is it 10 seconds, 12 seconds, or 15 seconds?
Now, this is actually a really good question. I've never tried to time or count the rift to go, but you pop it, you go in the sky, you know it's still there. I'm gonna feel it out and say my internal clock says 10 seconds.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Taco, would you agree with the 10-second shout?
I'm gonna go with 12, just because I think about the fact that, you know, other people are running into it, as well as the fact that, you know, you can always like re-drop from where you just, you know, if you wanted to pick up something that you try to leave behind, or that you wanted to like have the open.
Merci beaucoup, merci énormément à toi, moi, Alex.
Feel like it might
Et
be-
merci aussi à toi, go les 600 abonnés. Hein.
Well, one of you is
Go
correct
les 600.
on this one. One of you got it right. And the person that got it right is the person that needed to get it right. MDF, it was 10 seconds. You get 1 point, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, if you think about it, like it's so crazy. You play Fortnite so much, I can almost feel out that timer, like up
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
right? It's like, yeah, you go up, then you go down. You know that's like 5 seconds, and it's gonna disappear soon.
Even that pop sound, like that, like even
Yeah,
like from
yeah,
that,
like
you
the
count
whole
down from
thing.
that. Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
could time it out.
Totally.
Very
I totally get that. Okay, so MDF, 1 point for you. Well done, sir. Okay, Taco, question 2 for you. How much health do ballers have? How much health do ballers
Oh
have?
my
Is it
goodness.
400, 500, or 600?
See, this is where the disadvantage of never using a baller comes into play. I'm gonna go with 500.
Final answer?
I feel like, you know, the letter B has betrayed me the entire time today. So 4 times the charm.
And Monster, you said you've been doing a lot of baller work recently. What would you have gone for?
I'm not gonna lie, I've not really like these are like the fine details that I'm so thrown off right now. But now I'm trying to go into my internal clock, right? I get shot.
Yeah.
The health starts going down.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it has like 400 health, but no more than 500. It doesn't feel like a 600.
It's,
Sure.
it's definitely not 600.
Ouais,
The answer
go les
is
600, ouais, go les 600. Hein.
400.
On va essayer de monter jusqu'aux 600 abonnés. Hein. Mais je pense qu'on va réussir. C'est sûr et certain qu'on va réussir.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never used a baller in my
Moi,
life.
je me suis
I
grave
refuse.
amélioré sur Fortnite. Ah, c'est bien ça, Alex. C'est bien,
Hey,
c'est bien.
Had you done so, you may have had a point here, Taco. You may have had a point
That's
here.
a valid takeaway.
C'est cool.
It's currently 1-0 to Monster, going into the third and final question.
Moi, je suis nul à
Okay,
Fortnite.
Monster, to close this one out, who won the most official tournaments in Chapter 4?
Là, en fait,
Who won
là,
the
vu
most
que vous... Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui parlent
official
anglais
Chapter
ici?
4? Was it
Là, en fait, ils
Queasy,
sont en train de parler de
Worthy,
Fortnite,
or
là.
Calgamer?
Queasy, Worthy.
En fait, c'est un podcast, en fait.
Dude, I could've swore
Je
I
sais pas
remember
si vous
seeing
connaissez des
Calgamer for
podcasts ou
7X
quoi,
in
ou
his
pas.
name.
Mais c'est un
Or I could
podcast.
be wrong.
En fait,
I'm
il
gonna
parle,
lock in
tu vois.
Calgamer. Like
What would you-
I'm gonna lock in Calgamer like almost
he's locking it in.
confidently.
Good morning, bro.
Oh, that's the most confident you've looked so far. I'm not
Comment
gonna
tu
lie.
vas, Samuel? Ça va ou quoi?
Taco, what would you have gone
I'm pretty sure that it's Calgamer.
for? Okay. Well, with 10 wins, the correct answer is
Comment tu vas, Samuel?
Calgamer. It's Calgamer, baby. I mean, hey, that's a photographic memory right there. You saw the 7X. That's right.
He
well,
literally
10X.
he was literally Calgamer 7X at some point. I was just like, that's wild. Like that right there is wild. I remember it.
That is wild. That is wild. GG's. I mean, we'll do the last question for you, Taco. Who won the most
Ça
duo
va et
cash
toi,
cups
Samuel?
in Chapter 4? Who won the most duo cash cups
Oh, let's
in
switch
Chapter
questions
4?
real quick.
No, there you go. Is it Iomzo Rise, Queasy Veno, or Alex Worthy?
Who won the most duos cash cups?
Yeah.
Là, elle est en train de réfléchir. Ah,
I feel like
en fait, le mec, il a dit là, il a dit c'est qui va être le premier et tout ça. Mais lui, il a dit, lui, en fait, pour lui, c'est Veno et.
Well, Monster, would you have agreed? No?
Je pense que je vais commencer à faire
I
des
don't know.
tournois.
I'm kind of
Voilà.
lost in this one. I didn't study the cash at all.
Eh ben, j'espère pour toi que tu bras, Alex.
I'm gonna bow out.
Oui, ça va.
Well,
Ben,
that's
nickel,
fine,
alors, Samuel,
because
si tu vas bien, c'est le
Taco
principal,
already
mon
locked
ref.
in the correct answer. It was
Et
Iomzo
Alex,
Rise.
si tu veux faire
It was
vraiment, si tu veux faire vraiment des
7
compètes,
wins for Iomzo Rise as well. Okay, now,
t'as trait
2-1.
de
Okay,
tryharder,
that's
mon
fine.
ref. Hein.
So Monster gets the 2-1 victory. However,
Parce que des
Monster, I
compètes,
think you want to put it on the line
c'est
just
dur
for
à faire des compètes.
Yeah,
hein.
yeah,
Les gens, ils se
it's
rendent pas
fun.
compte. Hein.
the tiebreak. Because I
One more.
think the tiebreak question is one of my favorite questions ever. by
it's
the way.
always ridiculous,
It's so
man. That's
simple.
all I
It's so
ever
simple.
take away.
Mais c'est dur à faire des
It's so
compètes,
simple, but
les
it's so
loulous.
beautiful. The tiebreaker question, the closest
Moi, je
answer
pouvais le faire,
is
mais non, j'ai pas envie, en fait.
how many ammo boxes are there on the map?
Par la grâce de Dieu, ça va.
How many ammo boxes are there on the map?
Je sais, j'en ai bien l'intention.
Taco has to
Eh
go
oui, c'est
first,
très
yeah.
dur.
You
Déjà,
have to
faut
go first, you have to go
tryharder.
first.
Oh my goodness.
Déjà,
Official,
faut être en in real.
Yeah,
Déjà,
there
faut
are a
être en
few.
in real ou champion, ou même plus.
Just
Si tu veux faire de la
That's a-
compète,
that's a
et il faut
great-
tryharder à
that's a
mort. Tu
great-
sais que la compète, c'est pas si. C'est
I
très
I'm
compliqué.
feel
really
like I'm gonna come in way
Faut être
under
tous les jours
here.
sur Fortnite. Hein.
okay.
I'm gonna go with
Si t'es pas tous les
like
jours sur Fortnite, mon rêve, t'arriveras jamais faire des compètes. Hein. Parce que la plupart des compètes,
8300.
faut être tout le temps sur Fortnite, faut tryhard.
Low.
8300. It's
I don't know.
C'est
I feel
dur,
like
hein,
it's
faire des
too
compétitions.
ridiculous, right? Like
That's way too high. I'm
Yeah.
willing to bet that is way too. I'll give you a second chance to come in lower, just so it's.
it's because
closer.
the first time that I answer one of these monsters, I'll let you know. The first time.
Et j'espère que tu vas bientôt guérir,
have
Alex.
been
Okay,
placed
okay.
across every single region, right?
Yeah.
And it was an absurd number,
Brilliant.
and I was like, I wasn't even at 10% of the way there. I was like 0.01%. So now I
Well,
just
I'll
second guess myself.
I'll tell you what. I'll do. I'll give you a slight tip. This isn't okay. So the number is under 1,000. It's
Okay.
under 1,000. So between 1 and 1,000, somewhere.
How many ammo
You're on the
boxes
money.
across every region?
How many ammo boxes are there on the map? Yeah, every region.
If every region plays at the same time.
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay. I
Booty
still want to
time.
go towards the higher end on that. And
Okay.
I will go with
Merci, Romain, je suis de rien.
735.
J'ai battu mon
Okay,
pote
so
en réel et bon
735
fight,
locked
bruit
in
de fight.
for
Oh bien
Taco.
Alex,
Okay,
bah c'est
that's
cool.
good, that's good. Okay, so
Bah c'est cool, c'est cool.
735. What we're thinking about now is you guys at home. What do you think this answer could be? Because we love hearing from
Est-ce
you.
qu'ils vont
Know
annoncer un
exactly
petit truc
what
là
you
pour
think
le
this
chapitre
will be.
5?
So 735 is kind of like we've kind of set. the
Ça
tone
serait
there,
bien hein, qu'ils
with
annoncent un petit
Taco's
truc.
guess. What do you think it could be? Let us know in the comments. Get to us on socials. Get it out there. And let us know exactly what you think it could be. Every single week that we do this show, we love kind of getting you guys as involved as possible in things. So make sure to do that and make sure to get involved. I want to know because because the question's so simple. How many ammo boxes are there in the map?
People are gonna think I'm
Right.
insane for the first
No.
response.
735 monster is Taco's guess. Are you saying higher, lower? Going to give a specific?
Slightly higher, like 821.
Ting win button of
821. Okay. I'll let everyone at home. I'll give them a second or two. Okay, you pause it.
Je parle pas anglais,
Right,
Alex.
I'm doing it. The correct answer is in fact 657. 657. Taco.
That's not
Congratulations.
8,300. No.
If you divided it by like maybe 10,
No
12,
English,
you
parle pas
pretty much-
français.
honestly,
Moi
sometimes
parle
I
français,
think
no English.
When I think about how much ammo
T'as
I
capté ou
usually
pas?
have in a given match, and I'm like, I feel like I always have more than enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the issue is we've always said this as a rule of thumb: never do maths on any form of show ever because it always ends badly. And
Unless you're Kinch, I think.
feel the yeah yeah exactly. But congratulations, you guys. That was real fun. For you playing at home as well. Hope you did well. Let us know in the comments how you did. Did you get close? To the
Remets,
finals?
tu
I
te
love that question.
prénom comme mais ce n'est
Right,
pas
moving
du coup
forward,
aujourd'hui
obviously
que je ne joue
tournaments,
pas.
obviously Fortnite competitive, we
Remets,
talk
tu
loads
te
about here, all about here, on the drop spot
prénom
here.
comme mais
Lots
c'est
to
pas du coup
celebrate
aujourd'hui
and
que je ne
talk
joue pas. Non,
about
je ne joue pas aujourd'hui.
recently. What's happening this season actually in general? OG skirmish.
En fait,
Victory
j'ai un
Cash
truc à vous
Cups, lots of
annoncer.
ranked cups as well.
En fait, je reprends
anything monsters,
Fortnite,
but
je
it's been a
reprends
great
Fortnite
time.
à partir
Have you enjoyed
le
watching
2.
kind of things unfold this year?
Par contre, le 2,
I mean, for sure,
écoutez,
it's
hein,
such a-
les gens, si
a
vous êtes
great
là
way
le
to
2
kind of push
décembre,
things out. Obviously,
le 2
the
décembre, il y aura un
year's been
événement.
awesome. We tried
Et
to,
l'événement, je serai
you
en
know,
live
new
à
this
20h.
season with all the majors, then of course leading into
Je serai
this
en
big,
live à
you know,
20h
LAN event, which
le
is the
2
Global
décembre.
Championship. So,
Et je
all in
reprends
all,
Fortnite
this
le
year
2
couldn't
décembre
have
déjà.
gone any better. Like, this is exactly what we want from a competitive track to get to an in-person event. So I'm very,
Pour le
very
moment, il aura.
pleased
Là, pour le moment,
with how
aujourd'hui, je
everything's
joue
been
pas à
done.
Fortnite aujourd'hui. Mais le 2 décembre, par contre, je reprends.
Oh,
Go ahead, Taco.
I was just gonna
Le
say,
2
like,
décembre, il
doubling
aura
down
un live
on that,
Fortnite.
For sure. I'm like right there.
Il aura l'événement, quoi.
In that regard.
Et après l'événement, il aura
Yeah,
il aura
100%. I mean,
la maintenance.
interestingly, I guess
Et après
it's
la
a lot of solo
maintenance.
players. I mean, a lot of players in
Et
solo
par contre, pour la
tournaments
maintenance, je serai en
are kind of
live.
doubling down as well, but only taking
Je serai
a
en live
shot
pour la
at these
maintenance.
solo tournaments, I guess to make room for,
Et voilà.
carrying a lot of
Et
mobility
après,
in
bah,
the
et après, bah,
items.
je pense,
What's your
après
plan
la
for that?
maintenance, je
Only
pense après,
taking a
je
shot
vais
then in
jouer,
solo
tu vois.
tournaments. Taco, is that something that you would consider doing?
It's because it's not just any kind of shotgun here, Adam. If we're talking about the pump shotgun, and if there is any weapon that
Mais tout tout là
as
maintenant,
far
je serai en
as
live.
residing solely on it's going to be the pump shotgun. Every
Et le 2
single
décembre
time.
pareil.
Like, you
Mais là
can
aujourd'hui,
just have so much
aujourd'hui
better
je joue pas
mobility as
aujourd'hui.
well, because I think right now the primary go-to combo, you're gonna be looking at a grappler, you're gonna be looking at a pump shotgun, and then whatever heals you can manage to find on
Voilà,
the map
comme ça vous
throughout
le
the
savez.
entire course, because again, there really is just nothing more satisfying, first off, than landing a solid pump shotgun headshot. But on top of that, I just think that it's just so dependable.
Yeah, you know what? And we have to blame Zemi. Zemi put out a ridiculous clip of him using the shotgun paired up with a grappler, zipping back and forth across the map, you know, just making people look so lost, you know, in the hands of an experienced player. And, you know, it's moments like that where you really look back and you say, okay, I'm only going to be able to do this possibly here, now, during this, like, 1 week time. Let me just run this shotgun. Let's run these fun combos. That's what it's all about, having a great time. So I think we can attribute a lot of that solo shotgun play just to how powerful it is.
Yeah, that clip was amazing, by the way. Like, I was baffled. I thought, you know, I'm silver 1 for the win. That's the level that I'm at. And Zemi grappling and shotgunning, like it was impressive. It was really impressive. I mean, so think about you know, the next chapter on the kind of
Merci mon Alex. Merci beaucoup.
Forward, you know, more MTCS, more cash cups. What's your feelings about, you know, 2024 and what lies ahead as well, Taco?
I think in general, it's hard to really gauge where exactly the next iteration of competitive.
Putain, j'ai envie de boire du café là.
So,
Mais le problème c'est que j'ai plus de café.
Is concerned on the official side of things with the FNCS, I think anything and everything is up for grabs and prone to being kind of thrown into the mix here. But it is always, I think, a lot of fun from the commentator perspective, seeing how the players kind of mold it into their own takeaway.
Ça fait plaisir, voilà, merci à toi mon ref.
I think is it's going to depend exclusively on what's available and how exactly the map changes as well.
Yeah, for me, I mean, if I can see another set of majors the same way we lined up this competitive track to gear you into an in-person event, I'm going to be extremely happy with that. Like I mentioned at the start, I really do mean it. We have not seen anything like that, you know, in the years leading up to just this last year that's concluding right now. And it was by far my favorite one, and then it led to the most competitive event we could ask for in person. So I'm really hoping to see the return of FNCSs, but more importantly, see the return of the majors, right, that lead up to the in-person event.
Definitely, and we're going to find out what happens very, very soon. I'm sure. I can't wait to see exactly how that does pan out.
Je pense que tu pouvais mettre Alex.
So exciting.
Ouais, mais je le mettrai plus tard.
Something that we've been doing
Là pour le moment, j'ai pas le temps.
The last kind of few weeks actually with our guests here on the show, which is really fun, is each year somebody's gun.
Pour le moment, j'ai pas le temps, mais je le mettrai quand j'aurai envie de le mettre.
I'd love you guys, your thoughts on kind of what you know, your kind of, you know, a few different kind of categories personally. As each of our guests has recently really enjoyed this too. So first things first, best player of 2023. Do you have a player that you would kind of like you would shout and say that person's got to be the one? I mean, Taco, who would you say is your best player in 2023?
I kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier on in the show, and granted, everything's always going to, you know, be subject to somebody else's opinion, right? But for me, at least, and from what I witnessed throughout the course of this past year, I was really impressed by Miro and Cooper on the NA side of things, and I think that those two really just made this entire chapter one to be remembered as soon as they joined forces. And also, I think that
Cooper,
Miro in
il est fort,
particular
Cooper.
has just played such a huge part
Il
in
est très fort,
helping
Cooper.
with Cooper's development as a player, because if you ever watch like Cooper's games, for example,
Attends, mais
he
vous
streams
voyez pas.
pretty regularly as
Attends.
well.
Ah si, c'est bon.
In fact, I would even say daily, but Cooper legitimately is just so level-headed. There's just a certain calmness about him when he plays, and I think a lot of that can definitely be credited towards the fact that he got to
Mais vous savez que
experience
Cooper,
a couple
vous
of
savez les
different
champions
seasons with
du
Miro on
duo,
top
bah
of
eux
the
c'est des
Global
champions,
Championship, because
champions de
even
2023.
after
Et vous
their
savez que
initial debut
il y a
at
quelqu'un
Global,
qui
you
joue en
have to remember,
manette.
these two were
Et les champions en
granted
manette,
the finals
le mec.
lobby. They had to work their way through
Là c'est
the
Cooper
lower
ou l'autre
bracket
là, je me rappelle
to
plus.
find their footing into that finals lobby at the Global Championship, and what they were able to do, the 180 difference that we essentially saw between these two, and just their continued development throughout the course of that Global Championship weekend, it was definitely some impressive stuff, man. And I just think that I'm really excited to see both of their futures going.
Ouais, mais oui, je sais très bien, Alex, mais je parle au nouveau, tu vois.
It's a great point to make there as well. That they really are a duo that could have they've set such a precedent as well. You can sort of how mature they were at the end of globals, and the kind of the words thanking people personal to them.
Mais les deux là, ils sont en mode manette.
Players at home have that opportunity at least once to experience something so magical as well, Monster.
Yeah, and to double down on that, I mean, like you said, them not making that first day gave them all the extra time to go put the little bit of experience in, because they got to play the following day, right? And get a little bit more first experience to get the jitters away finals. But for me, I'm going Cami Seti, right? You can't count them out. They had the FNCS Invitational on lock.
Non, mais Cooper, il est très fort, Cooper. Il a un très bon niveau, il est très fort. Lui, par contre, le E, c'est pareil, eux. Hein. Les deux duos là, ils sont très forts. Hein. Camille et Camille, il a un très bon niveau.
The draw spot contested. They had to overcome their own hurdles going against the teams that were landing on them, and that was a great duo, by the way, hailing straight out of Asia, right? Everyone that made it to the Global Championship stage absolutely deserved to be there, and we really got to see that come to light. You have Cami and Seti pairing up with one another once again and just continuing their domination.
Il y avait Clément aussi, ouais. Mais Clément, Clément il était bon, hein, Clément de la Team Solar. Mais la plupart, je ne sais pas si vous avez remarqué un truc, en français, la personne qui était premier en français. C'est jamais des Français qui sont premiers. Mais ça, c'est vraiment dommage. Hein. C'est toujours des Anglais ou des Russes qui sont toujours premiers, tu vois. Mais les Français, c'est rare que en compétition, ils sont jamais premiers. Ils sont...
Right, quickly, let's move on to play of the year. Best play of the year. What jumps out? You alluded to kind of like that Cami and Seti and Invitational, that kind of queasy Veno play we saw last year, but this year is very different. What would you say, Taka? What's been your kind of play of the year thus far?
So, vous avez mangé quoi de bon ce soir?
My favorite play of the year, and I'm so happy about the fact that I even got to commentate this one, but it was Dukes' clutch 1v2 situation. Edgy throws himself up the ascender in Mega City, gets fried immediately upon making contact with Scented and Polarized, and the next thing you know, it's just
Mais Clément, ouais, il y avait un bon niveau,
going
Clément.
Massive here for his duo mate and for himself even. I mean, a lot of pride
Moi, poulet
gets
riche.
involved with these.
Moi, je vais me faire, je sais pas encore ce que je vais me faire. Ou du cassoulet ou des lentilles.
So much pop off, so much hype surrounding him in that moment. And that was the moment too where I just knew, like, this is why Dukes has the respect that he does in that region.
And if you're watching us live now as well, if you're
Putain, on est
watching
déjà
us, you can
vendredi,
actually see
demain
the
ça
clip
passe
there
trop
of it
vite.
happening. You can see Edgy going absolutely berserk at the end there as well, recognizing Monster that it was a huge clutch in an environment like that as well at globals. It's those kind of plays that separate, where you could big prize for money, but also those big moments that are not going to be forgotten about, they're going to be remembered for a long time to come.
Yeah, definitely, and I was there. I felt the whole entire arena rumble, literally, including the stage that we were standing on. But for me, I'm going Acorn. Acorn had this incredible pop-up clutch to help push him through that first major, and you know what? He did it while his teammate was down. Golden Acorn had just had an exceptional year. This year alone has really solidified Acorn as the veteran that he is on the NA region. And Cold, probably, if there was like a Rookie of the Year award, that we were going to probably give out at some point or another, it'd probably go to him. So this duo right here, veteran, newcomer, really does mesh very well together. But a play that we all look back at is this one from Acorn, and it was explosive.
Non, bah non. C'est bon le lentille, le cassoulet.
There are so many brilliant players. I mean, we celebrate just a few of each week. There are dozens. It's just
non, moi j'aimerais pas être champion de Fortnite. Mais j'aimerais bien, voilà, j'aimerais bien. Mais le problème c'est que je suis platine 2, moi. J'arrive pas à monter jusqu'au platine 3. Mais pas à mesure que je vais monter, tu vois.
I gotta give this one to Shalom. Definitely been holding it down.
Viande au chocolat.
We saw the transition from
J'ai jamais entendu ça, frérot. Viande au chocolat, ok.
To compete in Europe, and I think at the Global Championship, placing 5th there for Shalom, kind of just a massive indicator towards the fact that Asia is definitely a region that we need to start keeping a lot more eyes on and a lot more tabs on for everybody else kind of watching this.
Moi, je pense la saison prochaine, je suis champion. Ben moi, mon petit frère, parce que je joue beaucoup avec mon petit frère, il est diamant 3, il est bientôt champion, mon petit frère. Mais moi, je suis platine 2 et je vais essayer de monter jusqu'au platine 3, mais c'est dur hein, à monter.
Again, we're talking about someone who's been on a run for what feels like 5 years. Literally, he doesn't.
Là, en fait, ils vont montrer des best-of là. Là, c'est tous les best-of.
Final seeding rounds
tous les best-of de Fortnite.
And when it comes down to VR, he has his own, back-to-back on the region. So you got to give all the respect in the world to players like Chaine and really just anyone that can step up and step into off of the international, kind of playing base and into that field with everyone else.
Yeah, and I think you guys at home as well, make sure to get in the comments as well a player from the region that you watch mostly. Let us know who you think should be considered.
Est-ce que vous êtes hâte d'être au chapitre 5, les gens? Est-ce que vous êtes hâte ou pas?
We'd love to hear from you guys. We really, really do. It's been a great show. We've talked about loads of different stuff here, Fortnite OG to tournaments, the quiz, everything's been amazing. For you guys, for both Taco and MDF, I'd love to know where we can find you online. Taco, first things first, let us know, where can everybody find you if they want to find you socially?
It is just at the best taco on literally everything. I managed to get my handle secured on all socials.
Nice. Yeah, same. We love to see it, but at Monster D-Face everywhere. If you love Fortnite, if you love coffee, that's where you're gonna find me, man. That's
that's
it.
Right.
Attends, il y a mon petit frère qui m'appelle.
I love a coffee.
Allô?
You can find me, Adam Savage, on X, Adam Savage UK on Insta. Thank you guys so much
for
listening, for watching, wherever you are, to the Drop Swat as always. Thanks to
C'était là?
D-Face for being absolutely brilliant. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Till then, take care. We'll see you in the next episode. Have fun out there.
Ah putain, ça bug. Oh, la Saint-Sas. Oh non, ça a quitté. Il a plus. Tu veux faire du battle? Vas-y. Tu veux faire rouge et bleu? Bah vas-y, hein, go. Attends, mais t'es dans mon groupe ou pas? Bah faut que tu m'invites, hein.
Et en plus, tu m'as même pas vu, j'étais dans mon fight.
Non, j'ai pas vu.
Moi, j'étais dans mon fight.
D'accord. Après, tu réponds si tu veux, t'as pas ou t'es pas obligé. Écris bien parce que je comprends pas bien. Allez, tu posais la question à Romiche. Non, il posait pas à moi, il posait à toi. Attends, c'est ça, comment ça s'appelle? Je t'invite ou tu m'invites? Yo, Gabi, ça va ou quoi? Tranquille ou quoi? Tu veux faire rouge et bleu? Vas-y. Putain, il a 44 000. Tu veux faire en partie privée ou pas? Ou en public?
Comme tu veux.
Vas-y, viens, on fait en public. Comment tu vas, Gabi? Ça va ou quoi? Tranquille ou quoi? Merci aussi à tous les gens qui s'abonnent, qui partagent, qui like. Merci énormément. Hein. Putain, j'espère qu'on est ensemble, ça.
J'espère que je peux te mettre des balles de feu.
Je n'ai pas cessé. Ils sont en train de parler entre eux. Bah bon, je vous laisse parler entre vous. Hein. Tu viens de quel pays si c'est pas indiscret? Tu parles à qui, ça, Alex? À moi ou à Samuel?
Bah, Samuel, il parle.
Du rouge contre bleu. On va aller marave. On parle pas chinois. Non. Ah voilà. Pourquoi ah voilà? C'est un bobo sur ton front.
Non,
Si.
depuis longtemps, je pense que c'est.
Non. Bon allez, Stanislas, t'es prêt ou pas? Non, j'espère que t'es avec moi. Hein.
Est-ce que je peux te mettre des balles?
Non, non.
Moi, je suis fort au sniper.
Moi, je suis nul à chiffrer. Frère.
C'est pas une game à vous?
Hein? Oh putain, t'es pas avec moi. Non. Non. Oui, oui, vas-y, toi. Mais ça, t'es où? Mais ça, je te vois pas. Mais ça, je te vois pas, t'es où? Non, ça va? Barre-toi de ma base. T'es où vers ma base? Mais t'es où dans ma base là-haut? Oui, j'ai entendu parler, mais je connais pas ça. Ouais, je savais ça. Ah merde, c'est pas ça. Il y a un mec qui m'a tiré en flight là. Attends, j'arrive, c'est une place. putain, il m'a fait mal lui. Hein. Oh non. Ouais. Ben non, si après si t'as droit hein. Attends, mais t'es où? Oh! Elle était pas mal celle-là. Hein. Et je suis où? Moi, tu sais pas où je suis. Hein. Tu sais pas où je suis. Hein? Mais je compte pas. Et non, c'est vrai que je compte pas. Non, Alex, il est pas foncé du tout. Mais attends, mais c'est ça, je te vois pas, moi, t'es où? J'ai fait 2 kills déjà. Saint-Glace, je te vois pas monter où? T'es où, Saint-Glace? Wesh, vas-y, les gens ils ont snipe, c'est trop frère. Non mais frère! Oh c'est nickel ça! Oh c'est grave! C'est trop! Non, non, non! Frère, il a oublié de prendre ça, là! Ah, c'est grave, ça! Ah, mais je vais vraiment l'enculer, là. Non mais oh putain merde frère! Oh mais c'est quoi ça? Moi je le spammer de ta mère frère! T'as tout le temps! Ta mère la pute frère, c'est trop! Il est où là ce bombi de merde? Va là ça le bombi. Arrête c'est une chose que tu vois pas. Ah, c'est trop! Ouais, vas-y. Eh, nique ta mère, toi, le wesh, si je sais pas quoi, là. Eh, ta mère, la salope, frère, c'est où? Oh, c'est trop! Oh, mais vas-y, je vais l'enculer, c'est mort, lui. Hein. Oh, lui, je vais l'enculer. Allez, monte. Allez, monte. Monte, je vais te mettre un snap de ta gueule. Regarde, il y a comme visé ce truc là. Oh, c'est grave les jeux comme ça. Je suis là-bas, je suis vers... là. Ah, vas-y, non, mais c'est grave, frère. Il y a de la chance que tu dis pas. Non mais c'est trop à spam. Là il veut faire, il spam trop, il s'est abusé. Oh tu sais quoi, je vais aller jusqu'à vers lui là. Non mais c'est bon, vas-y frérot, tranquille. Ça sert à rien, voilà. Ah c'est des jeux comme ça qui vaut même pas la peine. Mais ouais. De quoi? Si, c'est un compeur. Mais non, je compte pas. Pourquoi tu dis que je compte pas Bah moi aussi je te vois pas. T'es où? Vas-y frère. Mais c'est ça, t'es où là? Je te vois pas moi. Bah moi aussi. Regarde, lui c'est un sacré compeur lui, la banane, bah, elle est juste là cette banane de merde. Vas-y. Pourquoi tu trouves ton rep là, frère? De quoi? C'est toi, c'est ça, c'est la banane, non? Ça fait Baptiste, frère! Ta mère a plus de Baptiste! Oh, je vais te soulever ta mère, moi! Et ta mère, elle va jamais soulever de ta vie! C'est trop! Oh, mais putain de ta mère, j'ai envie de marab ce mec. Oh, c'est trop. C'est trop, frère. Mais regarde, non mais sérieux. Mais non, mais c'est trop là, vas-y. Regarde, regarde. Spammeur de merde! Arrête! Mais c'est trop d'être des spams! Oh mais je vais l'enculer comme ta mère, la pute que t'as jamais enculé de ta vie! Non mais c'est trop! Signale-le, mais non, je vais pas le signaler. C'est comme un jeu, mais ça me casse les couilles. Regarde, regarde. Regarde, ils sont tous là! Oh, vous avez pas le droit d'être là! Hein. C'est des spammers et des campeurs. Bah oui, c'est ça en fait. Casse les couilles. Quoi? Non, mais arrête, c'est là, t'es chaud. Ah, mais tu sais que vous avez pas le droit d'être là. Hein. Ah putain. Eh tiens, allez tiens. Toi là, dégage. Oh, lui il me casse les couilles lui. Eh lui là, il me casse les couilles hein, votre... Attends, je vais faire un truc. Si. Mais oui, il vient me tirer, hein. Gros, lui, gros, trop que je l'ai pas vu en snipe, lui, là-bas, là. Appuie, c'est mieux. Bon, Romy, c'est Alex. Vas-y, à plus, mon rêve. Pas ta fois, prochaine fois, mon rêve. Et à bientôt, Samuel. Et c'est ça, tu crois que je t'ai pas vu? Ah, le fils de pute. C'est vraiment un bâtard, c'est ça. Regarde, bande de campeurs. On parle du 14 On parle de quoi, Alex? Non mais c'est trop, frère. J'ai fait 8 kills. Tu veux faire quoi avec 8 kills? De quoi? Tu vas manger, tu reviens après ou pas? Vas-y. Hein? Vas-y, non. Bon appétit, c'est un message. Alex, t'as dit bon appétit. Il est parti. Il est parti, il est parti. Frère, c'est trop comme il spam. Ah, ça spam à mort. Ah putain, merde. On s'est fait des gars. Salut Enzo, salut, comment tu vas mon Enzo, ça va pas? Ah, le fils de pute. Par pitié, lisez le titre. Merci à toi, mon mec. Et ouais, les gens, lisez le titre quand vous demandez ce que vous voulez jouer avec moi. Pas marqué Gamabo, mes loulous. Juste lisez le titre. d'accrocher. C'est que toi là. Ah le fils de chien.
Yo no soy envidia, soy tu bizcochito, pero tengo todo lo que tienes.
pas la remise ou le snipe. Tu l'as vu là. Attends, il est quelle heure les gens là? Oh putain, il est 19h43. Vas-y, je reviens les gens. Oh, je reviens, j'ai même pas vu d'heure. Attendez, je reviens. Putain, j'étais concentré. Attendez, je reviens les gens. Je vais partir manger et je reviens tout à l'heure. Bon, mes loulous, moi je vais vous laisser. Je vous fais des gros bisous. Faites attention à vous, prenez soin de vous. Et les deux personnes qui sont désabonnées, c'est pas grave. Deux perdus, deux de retrouvés, les gens. Alors tu sais, ça sert à rien de se désabonner. Hein. C'est vraiment, je m'en bats les couilles si vous êtes désabonné ou pas. À quel point, moi je sais très bien que 10, 10 de retrouvés et non, 10 de perdus, 10 de retrouvés, tout simplement. Alors c'est pas grave, hein, tu sais que ça me fait ni froid ni chaud si si les deux personnes se sont désabonnées. Hein. Ça me fait ni froid ni chaud en tout cas. Bon, moi je vous fais des gros bisous. Faites attention à vous, prenez soin de vous. Et je vous dis à le 2 décembre sur l'événement de Fortnite. Parce que je serai en live pour l'événement de Fortnite à 20h. Et soyez prêts, soyez présents. Et merci à tous les gens qui s'abonnent, qui partagent, qui like. Merci à tous. Voilà, vous êtes les boss, vous êtes incroyables. Ça, je vous remercie énormément. Je vous fais des gros bisous et je vous dis à le 2 décembre. Ciao, ciao les gens, à plus.